There's a guy that wants a feller to help him get his old truck running, driving, and stopping. He's asking for a lot with that stopping part, but let's see if we can help him out. It seems to be intact. I don't see nothing missing except maybe that center part of that grill. Seriously though, the story behind it, it's a 1980 GMC C35. This guy's daddy bought it in '88, and they hauled a double-decker cattle trailer full of calves to and from Pennsylvania to Tennessee. So the old girl has seen some work, and I believe he started tearing it apart, going to restore it because it's his daddy's truck. I can completely understand that. But it being a 35, I'm assuming that's going to be a 350 at least. No interior. It is a manual transmission though, and it's got some rust, but it ain't real bad. Muffler, it's seen better days. What that probably is all that Chevrolet horsepower. That muffler couldn't contain it, so it just exploded with the horsepower. I got to see if I can find a patch to fix that tire. It does have dual tanks, but I think he's only going to keep this one. And I have already checked, and it does have a good fuel line from what I can tell. So we won't have to do much fuel line running, I hope. Let's go up here and see what kind of mileage it's got on it. Best I can tell, it's 11,417. That's liable to be 200,000 or 300,000. You don't know. If they were hauling it to Pennsylvania all the time, it's liable to have a bunch of miles on it. It does have Hydro Boost brakes too, so hopefully we won't have to do much of nothing to them. Let's check and see if it's got any oil in it. That's the first thing a feller should do when he's working on something, just to make sure that it's got oil in it. And it's over full. That's better than being zero full. Let's see if it's got any water in it. Well, I can see a shimmer of water down in there. The story is, I've been told that it has electrical issues. It won't crank with the key. They have to jump the starter out. So I think we'll just dive right in, throw a battery in it. Actually, I'm gonna check the voltage on that battery. It may be good, you don't know. Anyway, throw a battery in it and hit the key, see what happens. And if nothing happens, well, then we know where to start. 2.5 volts. I'd say that battery is no good. Ooh, we're missing most of the battery tray. We're just resting on either edge of the battery. All right, well, since I have one cable here that's disconnected, I have another cable here that's disconnected. I believe we need to start by hooking those cables up. Fellers, if you ever climb up under a vehicle, you see a new starter, and then you see wiring that's been messed with, you probably ain't gonna have a good day. Let me see if I can figure out what goes where before we can ever attempt to get this thing to turn over. Alrighty, I had to pull the harness up here and do a continuity test on it because I had no clue what any of these wires are. They've been wired in right here, I believe. That's not factory, or been repaired or something anyway. So I had to do continuity test on them and figured out one of these, all three of these go to the battery post on the starter. One goes to this distribution block here. One of them, I think, goes to the fuse panel. This one here goes to the alternator. This is the starter solenoid. They all check continuity except starter solenoid. And you know, this is a manual, so I thought it may be the clutch safety switch wasn't hooked up. It ain't, but it's been jumped out, and I'm getting continuity from here to that switch wire. I'm not getting from here, say, to the positive side of the system. So this still may not let it start, but at least I know what wires are what, and I can go from there. So let me get this down under, get it hooked up, and we'll give it a try. Got the starter wired up down there. Let's do a little spark test. Get just a little bit. At least there's no dead shorts. So let me get this hooked up, and then we'll try the starter. All right, here we go. Let's see what it does. It does absolutely nothing. Where are the headlights? No headlights. We have nothing. Blower fan, the key's on, no blower fan. So, I'm telling you, this truck, it's going to be an electrical nightmare. I'm going to check the fuses, but, well, I don't know where to start, to be honest with you. All right, watch this, or listen to this. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I ain't got a clue what I did. I was troubleshooting the headlights, thinking, you know, maybe that would lead me to the trouble. Well, I was getting power to the switch. I was getting power down to the dimmer, down there. Come up here and wiggled what I'm assuming is ground wire on his headlights. The headlights came on. I came back here and I hit the key and it starts turning over. I don't know. I just don't know. I did accidentally pull a red wire right there out of the headlight connector, the switch connector up here. And of course this is not factory. And I was going to trace it. You know, it goes to the firewall right here. Well, there's 3 red wires that are been added on. I'm telling you, this truck is an absolute nightmare. I don't know if that's why it wouldn't work. I just don't know. Well, upon further inspection, this red wire that I pulled out of the headlight switch, well, it just goes to nothing. It was run down the frame rail there and went to nothing. So, get out of here. Now that we're turning over with the key, I guess since this thing is such an electrical nightmare, let's pull a plug and see if we're getting spark. And if we are, then we'll go to looking at that carburetor and the fuel system. And we have spark. Well, I guess it's time to take that breather off, look at the carburetor, and hope that the fuel system is okay. All right, let's look at this carburetor. I guess that's some kind of a little riser. I don't know. Edelbrock carburetor. That's about all I can tell you. I am not a carburetor guru. I'll be the first to tell you that. My main concern is going back there and putting fuel in that tank and see if we can get it up here to this filter at least. Alright, I got some gasoline in the gas tank. I'm going to fill these bowls up and we're going to see if she'll fire off and hopefully start pumping some gas up here. Give her a little bit to grow on. Alright. Here we go. Let me hit the starter. Oh yeah, she's gonna fire, that's for sure. That choke cable's stuck. Give her a little bit of gas. Might help if I put that spark plug back in the hole. Yeah, that might help. I got the memory of a tree stump, and if my head wasn't attached to my body, I'd probably forget it too. Alright, let's try this again with all of the spark plugs in it. Woohoo! Good gracious. awesome. Looks like we're getting a little fuel up here too. Now that we got the go, let's work on the whoa. For those of you that don't know, this is what you call Hydro Boost brakes. Instead of having a vacuum booster here, you got this hydraulic booster that takes its hydraulic power from the power steering pump. That pump down there will pump fluid up here, and that assists you on your braking. And I've done looked in there, it's completely bone dry, so that means this ain't gonna work. Let's pull the top off this master cylinder and see if we got any fluid in it. Well, that's really on there. There we go. Oh my goodness. Holy crap. Holy crap. I do believe we're gonna need a master cylinder. Yep, I'm gonna say so. Well, let me get to pulling this off. I really hope that I don't break these lines. Y'all keep your fingers crossed that I don't. All right, let's see what happens. Nope. I'm gonna break that line. It's coming with it. Sometimes you can work with them and they'll break loose. Most of the time, no. That one there is twisting. Yep. Well, we're probably gonna have to replace these lines up here too, or at least reflare them. I didn't bring any kind of penetrating oil with me. I'm gonna look around here and see if I can find something. Y'all ain't gonna believe me unless I show you. But the only thing I could find around here was starting fluid. Well, I got to thinking, you know, if you got something that's froze up, you usually put a torch on it to heat it. Well, this stuff will make stuff cold. I thought, well, maybe I can freeze it and it'll break loose. Well, look at here. Look at there. Got that one loose. Let me try this and let me spray it real quick. Try it. Nope, it ain't wanting to just yet. There she went. You hear it pop? Oh yeah. Alright, let me get this off here, and I gotta go to Ireland and see if they got one. Get some brake fluid. I need some antifreeze. And that ought to do it for this trip. Let me tell y'all what I normally do working on something, especially if I'm not at home where I have my own tools and my own supplies. Well, I'll start off with one system, go through it like the electrical system. I'll write down what I need. Then I'll go with the fuel system, do the same thing, and brake system, on and on. That way you got a list, so you don't have to make 2 or 3 trips. Well, then what you do after that is you get in your car, truck, whatever. As you're driving towards the store, you roll your window down. You take that list, you pitch it out the window, because you're gonna have to go 2 or 3 times anyway, whether you want to or not. I'm getting too old, too fat for this. Oh. How can that be? How can that be a different size than the other one? There she is. That's pretty disgusting. It's got a little bit of fluid in it. Let me see if we can get one of these. I seem to have made a friend. Come here, boy. What are you doing? There's several methods to bench bleeding. One of them is you can put these plugs in and you work this about 1 inch or so in and out, and you'll see air bubbles coming out. I've already bled this one, so there ain't no air bubbles. It's shooting out fluid now. And when it's bled, you won't get a whole lot of movement out of it. It'll start getting hard to move. The second method is they got little tapered things you stick in here. Got a hose run over here. The end of the hose has to be submerged in the brake fluid. And you just work it. I think that when you do the full stroke and the air will come out and you see it coming out through the tubes. When you stop getting any air bubbles, it's bled. All right, this little feller's bled, so let's go put him on. All right, we got the master cylinder hooked back up. Now I think it's time to start doing a little gravity bleeding on the back. We'll start on the back first. Here's a little tip if you're gravity bleeding. You might want to take these little bleeders all the way out because they could be stopped up. And you don't want to be sitting there waiting all day for fluid to come out and that bleeder stopped up. So best take it off and make sure it ain't stopped up. Well, I had to have an assistant to manually bleed the brakes. I'm not real sure I got brakes, but the pedal got harder. So let me get this filled up and then we'll give them a try. I need to run it and let it warm up first, make sure that thermostat ain't gonna stick. All right, I'm gonna fire it up, let that circulate a little bit. Then I'll check the level again. And then we might be ready to try it out, see if the brakes work and all that kind of stuff. Well, we got power steering anyway. Let me step on the brakes, see if we got anything there. Oh yeah, here's squalling. We got some kind of brakes. I'm gonna let it sit here and run and warm up a little bit, make sure that thermostat opens. The radiator has a small hole right there. I tried to repair it a little bit just to slow it down. The thing about it is I have no idea what the oil pressure is. I have no idea what the temperature is. None of the gauges work. Like I said, it's an electrical nightmare. As you can see, none of the gauges work. Temperature's pegged out. But once I'm satisfied that it's not overheating and that thermostat's opening up, then we'll take it for a little ride around the parking lot here anyway, just to make sure the brakes work and all that good stuff. We got water flow now, so that means thermostat's open, if it's even got one in it. And I don't believe it's going to overheat. That water level's low because I don't want to fill it up too much because of that leak in there. But I do think I have that leak stopped for now. So I believe it's good enough for us to take it for a little ride anyway. All right, she's completely warmed up. So I'm gonna change that fuel filter right there. And I forgot that this gas tank back here, he wants it turned 180. He wants the inlet to be on the front side because he's putting a flatbed on here. I'll show you the bed here in a minute. But he wants that inlet up front so he can run that way and put his gas cap over there. So I got to swap that real quick. Let me show you that bed he's going to put on it. I guess it's actually a utility bed, sort of. Well, maybe a combination flatbed utility bed. Anyway, that's the bed that's going to go on it right there. I believe it'll look pretty sharp when he gets it done. Are you crazy? Huh? All right, let me see if I can get this tank swapped around real quick. This is gonna take a minute. Whew. That only took about 15 minutes. I don't know how much gasoline is in this. Oh, it ain't that bad. It ain't that bad at all. All right, let's see. Well, let's see. This is not going to be fun. I think I rest that neck right there. Maybe I can get this front, this back one on first. Ooh. Where's the little, darn it. I can't reach it. Y'all gonna have to come help me. I can't reach it. Oh, wait a minute. All right, I got it. I got it. That's about where she's gonna have to go. Ooh. Of course, my nuts are way over here. Oh. All right. Well, hey, dog. What are you doing, boy? This is going to take a minute. All right. Got the tape swapped. All right, as soon as I get this put back together, I believe I'm going to attempt to put some more gasoline in it. And then we're going to take her for a drive. Here's oh, by the way, bathroom cleaner. It does a pretty dang good job of cleaning the windshield. Now you know. All right, here we go. Check the brakes. Oh yeah, we got all kind of brakes. Probably these plugs and wires. Oh, she didn't quit on me. That popping and carrying on, I don't know exactly what that is. Let me make sure the spark plug wires are where they're supposed to be. All right, I gave her a little bit of a timing adjustment, and I believe it's going to take care of that popping. But going by the looks of it, I believe that distributor needs to be reclocked because I don't have any more room to advance. Anyway, let's jump in it and see what it does this time. All right, let's give her the old try again. Oh yeah, she's ripping and ready to go now. If I can get her in reverse. Oh yeah, we're like a brand new truck now. You get some dang good brakes. This old truck runs pretty good. No doors. We'll call this the Jeep model. You don't want to open the floor barrel. Well, there she is, fellas. A 1980 GMC C35. Been off the road for 15 years. She's well on her way to being back on the road, and I'm glad I got to play a part in it. I got her running and stopping, and buddy, she's got some brakes that'll throw you through the windshield. Anyway, appreciate y'all watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you don't mind, hit that like, comment, subscribe, share the video with your friends, hit the notification bell, and until next time, go do something. Blurp, blurp.